Reformation charges you $320 for a dress that costs $32 to make and calls it sustainable fashion. The fabric is cheaper to source than regular new fabric because it is dead stock. You paid a sustainability premium for a cost-cutting strategy dressed up in environmental language. That is not conscious fashion. That is conscious marketing. And Reformation is not alone. Her elegant signal is the channel that decodes exactly what the fashion industry does not want women to know. Which brands are worth your money, which ones are selling you a story, and how to tell the difference before you ever reach the checkout. If you are new here, subscribe right now, because this channel will permanently change the way you shop. 7 brands charging you for their image. 5 brands charging you only for their garment. Let us count them down, starting with number 7. Number 7, Madewell. Picture this. You are in a fitting room. The jeans fit perfectly. They feel premium. The brand feels like a personality. Effortless, cool, creative. You check the price tag, $148. And you think, these must be better than regular jeans. That feeling right there, that is the entire Madewell business model. Madewell is owned by J. Crew Group. It sources its denim from the same Turkish and Mexican mills that supply mid-tier brands charging $60 to $80 for identical jeans. The cotton is standard denim weight. The hardware, rivets, buttons, zippers, is commercial grade. The construction is basic 5-pocket with standard stitching. Nothing inside those jeans is different from what those same mills produce for other labels at half the price. Their signature jeans retail between $120 and $180. Production cost sits around $20 to $30 per pair. You are absorbing a markup of 400 to 600%, and Madewell's own revenue figures confirm this. Their average order value ran $300 to $325 in early 2026. Women are spending that much per visit without blinking because the brand has convinced them the price is the point. Here is the detail that should stop you cold. A basic Madewell cotton t-shirt retails at $35 to $45. Production cost is under $10. You are paying $35 for a t-shirt that costs under $10 to make. Because being the woman who wears Madewell has a price, and Madewell knows exactly what you are willing to pay for it. Number 6, Ann Taylor. Ann Taylor understood something specific about professional women. That dressing for credibility feels like a necessity, not a choice. When your wardrobe feels directly tied to how seriously the world takes you, you become vulnerable to paying premium prices for clothes that simply look the part rather than clothes that are built to a premium standard. Ann Taylor has operated inside that vulnerability for decades. A typical Ann Taylor blouse retails between $80 and $150. The fabric? Standard cotton, polyester, or rayon blend. The same material supply chain used by brands charging half that price. Production costs run $12 to $25 per piece, creating markups of 300 to 600%. Real customer reviews from 2024 describe fabrics arriving as cheap synthetics, boxy fits, and items that creased badly in transit. Their prices are still premium. The quality clearly is not. But the most damaging thing Ann Taylor does is not the price. It is the message underneath the price. The message is, if you do not buy this, you are not taking your career seriously. That specific pressure costs women far more than $150 per blouse over a lifetime of dressing for a room that should already respect them regardless of what label they are wearing. Number 5, Free People. Free People does not sell clothing. It sells a personality. The free-spirited creative. The woman who wears flowing dresses to farmers markets and looks effortlessly alive. That personality is the actual product. Everything else, the fabric, the stitching, the construction, exists only to carry that image from the hanger to your imagination. Free People is owned by Urban Outfitters, Inc., the same corporation behind Anthropologie and Urban Outfitters itself. all three brands run on identical economics. Manufacture at mass market cost. Sell at aspirational prices. Use photography so powerful that customers feel they are buying a way of living rather than a piece of fabric. A typical Free People dress retails between $150 and $300. The fabric is standard rayon or cotton blend, the same material supply chain used by brands, charging $40 for a similar silhouette. The construction is basic: serged seams, standard stitching, no reinforcement at stress points. Production cost sits between $15 and $25. On a $200 dress, that is a markup of 700 to 1,200%. And then there is the detail that tells you everything you need to know. That dress is dry clean only. Not because the design demands it, because the fabric literally cannot survive a washing machine. A garment that cannot be washed at home is not a premium garment. It is a liability with ruffles. And you paid $200 for the privilege of owning it. Number 4, Kate Spade. Let us talk about bonded leather. Because most women who own a Kate Spade bag have never heard that term. And it is the most important thing to know before you ever consider buying one again. Bonded leather is not leather. It is shredded leather scraps mixed with polyurethane binder and pressed into sheets. It looks identical to genuine leather on a store shelf or in a product photograph. On a hanger, in a boutique, under perfectly calibrated lighting, you cannot tell the difference. But bonded leather does not age like leather. It peels, it flakes, it cracks at every fold and stress point. Within 2 years of regular use, the material reveals exactly what it is. Most Kate Spade handbags use bonded leather construction. Their bags retail between $200 and $500. Production costs run $40 to $80. That is a markup of 300 to 600% for a material with structural failure built into its chemistry. The hardware situation is no better. Kate Spade uses plated metal, not solid brass, not stainless steel. Plated metal wears through to the base underneath, usually within the first year. The cheerful aesthetic still photographs beautifully. But Kate Spade's own parent company, Tapestry, reported a 14% sales decline in 2025 as the brand tried to pivot away from heavy discounting. Sales at Kate Spade dropped 10% in a single recent quarter. When a brand's own customers are walking away, something is wrong beyond the aesthetic. Kate Spade, the founder, left this brand in 2007. What you are buying today is a corporation monetizing the memory of what she built, at prices that assume you cannot tell the difference. Number 3, Lululemon. Lululemon is the most sophisticated case study in this entire list, because it did not just build a brand, it built a belief system, and it charged you to belong to it. Their Align leggings retail at $128. Industry data and financial analysis consistently estimates production cost between $20 and $30 per pair. That means for every pair you buy, between $98 and $108 of what you pay funds something other than the garment itself. It funds stores designed like wellness sanctuaries. It funds staff trained to call themselves educators. It funds free yoga classes that make you feel part of a community before you have spent a single dollar. Lululemon outsources manufacturing to approximately 60 suppliers across 26 countries: Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Bangladesh. The same manufacturing geography as brands charging $40 to $60 for comparable athletic wear, because multiple independent performance tests have shown that competing leggings at that price point perform comparably in the gym to Lululemon's signature styles. But here is the master stroke that separates Lululemon from every other brand on this list. They understood that women do not just want to look good, they want to belong to something. By the time you are standing in that fitting room, you are not evaluating a pair of leggings. You are deciding whether you are the kind of woman who invests in herself. That is a marketing architecture of extraordinary sophistication. and it costs you roughly $93, above what the leggings themselves justify, every single time you buy a pair. Number 2, Tory Burch. 2 letters. That is what you are paying for. Tory Burch moved all of its manufacturing to China around 2011. Their ballet flats retail between $200 and $300. The construction is cement-lasted, which means glued, not stitched. A glued sole cannot be resoled. When the sole separates, and it will, the shoe is finished. No repair is possible. The shoe has a built-in expiration date because the construction method that would allow it to be repaired was never included in the design. Production cost sits between $35 and $50. You are paying a markup of 400 to 600% for a shoe engineered to be replaced, not maintained. That is not an accident. That is a business model. The clothing tells the same story. A Tory Burch cotton dress retails between $300 and $500. Production cost runs $40 to $70. Standard cotton, standard seaming, standard finishing. The garment is indistinguishable in construction from items costing a third of the price. The only distinguishing feature is the double T embossed on the front. Those 2 letters add approximately $150 to $200 to the price of every single item they appear on. More than the leather, more than the labor, more than the shipping. The logo costs more than the entire garment beneath it. That is not fashion. That is a status transaction with a tag attached. Number 1, Reformation. We are ending with Reformation because it represents something none of the other brands on this list can claim. Every other brand exploited your desire for beauty, status, or professional credibility. Reformation exploited your conscience. And that is a categorically different and more personal betrayal. Reformation was founded in 2009 as a vintage reseller. Genuinely sustainable, genuinely circular. Then it scaled, and scaling meant new production. New production means new garments entering a world that already produces between 100 and 150 billion clothing items per year for 8 billion people, 12 to 19 garments per person annually. There is no shortage of clothing on Earth. Reformation's sustainability is a reduction in damage, not an elimination of it. They charged you as though it was the latter. Look at the actual product. The Reformation lacy dress retails at $248. It is made from viscose, one of the cheapest fabrics in contemporary fashion. Viscose loses its shape easily. It requires dry cleaning, which is itself an environmentally harmful process. Reformation acknowledges that only 15% of dry cleaners offer green cleaning options. So the sustainable dress requires an unsustainable cleaning process that most women cannot even access sustainably in their city. Production cost sits between $8 and $20. You paid $248. Now look at what happened when private equity acquired the brand in 2020. From 14 stores in 2019, Reformation expanded to 53 brick-and-mortar locations. New collections drop every few weeks. The operational definition of fast fashion. Their 2025 sustainability reports no longer clearly outline their use of recycled synthetics. For overseas factories, there is no third-party verified evidence that workers receive a living wage. Reformation did not just raise its prices as the brand scaled. It raised its sustainability claims while quietly moving toward the model it promised to oppose. You paid a premium for someone else's conscience that they stopped fully honoring after they cashed the check. 7 brands, 7 different strategies, 1 shared principle. Charge women not for what is inside the garment, but for who wearing it makes them feel they are. Now, the 5 brands that built their business on the opposite foundation entirely. Number 5, Arket. Arket publishes the name and location of every factory it works with, every single one. Not as a marketing feature, as a basic standard it holds itself to. Ask yourself, how many brands you own can say that? Their merino wool sweaters retail between $69 and $99. The wool comes from Australian merino farms, supplying the same fiber luxury knitwear brands charge $200 to $300 for. The construction includes fully fashioned sleeves, a technique luxury brands charge premiums for, reinforced stress points, and finishing details most brands reserve for their most expensive lines. Arket treats them as standard. When a brand shows you exactly where and how your clothes are made, it is usually because they have nothing to hide and everything to be proud of. Arket qualifies on both counts. Number 4, COS. COS is owned by H&M. That sentence should make you skeptical, and then the product should make you reconsider everything. COS used the manufacturing scale of the world's second largest fashion retailer and chose to spend it on quality rather than volume. Their wool coats retail between $150 and $250 and use hand-sewn canvas interfacing. The same construction technique luxury coats charging $800 use to hold their shape through decades of wear. The wool comes from the same European mills supplying those luxury houses. The garment is not meaningfully different from what costs 3 times the price. The only difference is that COS does not charge you for its name. More important than any product is the design philosophy. No seasonal trends, no artificial urgency, no built-in obsolescence. A $200 COS coat worn for 5 years costs $40 per year. Most purchases from the first half of this list exceed that cost per wear before the season ends. Number 3, Universal Standard. Universal Standard does something no other brand on either half of this list has consistently done. It builds quality garments for every body from size 00 to size 40 without compromise, without a plus-size tax, and without treating inclusion as a trend. Their construction is genuine. Premium denim techniques, higher gauge knitwear yarn than standard contemporary fashion, garments built to last through regular wear and regular washing. But what separates Universal Standard from every brand on this entire list is 4 words. They back it up. If your size changes within 1 year of purchase, they replace the garment in your new size at no cost. That guarantee only exists because the brand knows exactly what it is making and is prepared to stand behind it completely. No brand that cuts corners offers a guarantee like that. The promise is only possible because the product deserves it. Number 2, Uniqlo. Uniqlo approaches clothing the way engineers approach a problem, with precision, with material science, and without ego. Less than 1% of global cotton qualifies as Supima grade, the softest, strongest cotton available. Luxury brands charge $80 to $120 for Supima cotton pieces. Uniqlo sells the same grade for $19.90 to $29.90. Same material, same quality control, different business model. Almost 70% of Uniqlo's knitwear uses natural fabrics. For fast fashion competitors, polyester is the default choice. Uniqlo's dresses use French seams that prevent fraying and extend garment life. Their knitwear uses fully fashioned construction that eliminates bulk. These are techniques brands on the first half of this list charge premiums for. Uniqlo includes them as standard because they decided the garment is the product, and there is nothing else to sell you. Number 1, Quince. Quince is the brand that should make every brand on the first half of this list deeply uncomfortable, because Quince has proven in the most verifiable terms possible that luxury materials do not require luxury markups, that the gap between what something costs to make and what you pay for it is entirely a choice brands make, not a necessity. Quince works directly with the same factories that produce for European luxury houses. They remove every layer of middleman markup between the factory floor and your wardrobe. Grade A Mongolian cashmere sweaters retail between $50 and $80. That same cashmere, from those same factories, appears in sweaters from brands charging $295 to $450. The material is not different. The construction is not inferior. The factory is the same. The only difference is that Quince eliminated the marketing campaign budget, the brand positioning overhead, and the retail markup that inflate the price without improving the product. They publish their factory relationships. They explain their cost model. They show you exactly why their prices are lower. And the answer is never that they compromise the product. When you can get grade A cashmere from a luxury factory for $65 instead of $350, paying $350 requires an explanation. The explanation is always the same. You are paying for everything surrounding the garment. Quince decided the garment was enough. And the garment, it turns out, is more than enough. 7 brands, 5 brands. One question that will save you more money than any sale event ever will. Am I paying for what is inside this garment, or for what wearing this brand is supposed to say about me? Every brand on this list answers that question honestly, if you know how to read the answer. Her Elegant Signal publishes every single week. If this video gave you information no fitting room ever did, subscribe right now. Because the next video goes even deeper into the fashion industry's most protected secrets. It is already on your screen.